My 21F boyfriend, 22 meters, and I went out to dinner with his best friend. He invited us to an expensive steakhouse. I do not like steak, but went because it's his best friend. He told me his friend wanted to treat him to dinner since his friend, got a big sale, but wouldn't pay for me. I felt awkward at first, but let it go, since my boyfriend said he would pay for me, since his friend paid for him. When we get there his friend said no offense, but him not paying for you. It was extremely awkward, and felt like a diss to me, since he was paying for himself, his girlfriend, and my boyfriend. I paid the tip as well. I told my boyfriend. That made me so uncomfortable, because he kept joking about how he wasn't paying for me, and when we explained the check to the waitress she was confused, and his friend said, "There's two couples here, she must be confused why you're paying for yourself, haha." It felt like a diss to me. I told my boyfriend the next day. It made me uncomfortable, and felt like a diss to me as his girlfriend. He said, "Well, it's because I'm not family yet. So you say you love me, but I'm not family?" IDK, but I was taught and have seen when someone invites people out to a celebratory dinner of their success of wealth, they normally pay for the whole table. IDK for me, it was rude of him to exclude me then joke about it and be like no offense. I ordered the cheapest thing on the menu because I don't like that type of food, and we were supposed to leave that day back to my hometown, but he wanted a last hurrah with his friend, so I stayed. I'm just feeling rejected and annoyed as my boyfriend didn't really defend my feelings and just said, "Well, you're not family yet." Classy people would have sorted out the money side of things without you knowing anything about it. Friend pays the whole bill. Your boyfriend settles with him later for the cost of your meal. As it panned out, they were both rude. I'm old and I used to be married to someone who'd regularly embarrass me in public. That became an absolute deal breaker for me, and I'm the forgiving type in general. Exactly. Anyone with an ounce of manners fights to pay the bill, and certainly pays it, if they planned the dinner in the first place. It's one thing to invite you and not pay. It's a whole other thing to sit there and announce it when you come, then keep bringing it up to the table and waitress. He already told your BF ahead of time. Everything else was to be mean and hurt you. That's it. He's a royal asshole, and your BF needs to recognize that he kept mentioning it to hurt and embarrass you. That's not a good friend to intentionally hurt his so. What does he say about you when you're not around? I'd ask your BF that if he is trying to break your luck. He already told your BF ahead of time. Everything else was to be mean and hurt you. That's it. He's a royal asshole, and your BF needs to recognize that he kept mentioning it to hurt and embarrass you. Everything the guy did was to hurt and humiliate you, and your boyfriend let it happen. Let that sink in. Your BF's best friend is an asshole. Your boyfriend is not a whole lot better. I read your other posts and you are just a young college student figuring things out. You don't have time for this shit. They are all awful. Even the girlfriend. Find new friends. It seems you just moved in with some new girls. Hang out with them. You need to get away from this crowd. None of this behavior is kind. Find someone who is nice to you and treats you well and hang with them. College. Yeah, this is the best time to date and meet new people. The friend and BF sound pretty immature and rude. Did the friend actually invite you, or did the friend invite your boyfriend and your boyfriend brought you along? He invited us both for a double date dinner. Did his girlfriend react to the whole situation? If my partner would humiliate another female like that in my presence, he would be an ex in a heartbeat. I would also point out that apparently the sale was not that big if he cannot afford to pay for the whole table, but I'm petty AF. Oh, that's a good one. Didn't think of that one asterisk 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 and yes, I'm also petty AF asterisk asterisk asterisk. Honestly, you shouldn't have gone to the dinner. You don't invite someone out then tell them to pay for their meal while you pay for everybody else. Not only that, he humiliated you publicly in the restaurant. Your boyfriend let it happen, so he's okay with you being treated badly. You seem like someone who just goes along with things to keep the peace. Stop doing that. Stand up for yourself. Yeah, I didn't want to when I heard that, but we were an hour away from his family's house where we were staying, so I couldn't just go myself. Honestly, should have just said I'm leaving. and taken his car and he cold rode home with them, no lie. I do go along with things a lot. I'm definitely having a conversation with him when I see him next. I don't want to overphone, so I'm waiting. I didn't want to make a scene in the restaurant, but now I think I should have. Wow, he invited you both to a double date and paid for everyone but you? And you paid the tip. Girl, you need to evaluate whether or not you want to be with someone that not only treats you this rudely, but allows others to as well, and excuses their behavior. This is very rude. I don't think I could look at my boyfriend the same after this. Your boyfriend is a turd. Just like his best friend. What a pair of assholes. This guy is a hypocrite. Nobody was family here. Your boyfriend is wrong for simply going along with it. If your boyfriend doesn't see how wrong he was, you should break up with him. This whole story is like a bad Seinfeld episode. That guy is a total T asterisk 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 and your BF doesn't sound much better. I would make this a hill to die on. Decline any invitation from friend and do not include friend in any social plans. If he shows up, look him dead in the eye and say I'm not paying for you. If you have a party, he's not invited because you aren't paying for him. Wedding? Nope. He's not to be in the wedding party or even invited. If BF isn't okay with that, you have a choice to make. Op WBTAH if she married the boyfriend who allowed her to be treated this way. BF is a just no. This is terrible, and I feel rejected for you. You were specifically excluded, and it doesn't make sense. In that case they shouldn't have invited you at all. But more concerning is your boyfriend's response. I think this is what I would call a red flag. Your boyfriend's friend is a complete jerk. I think you should politely decline next time he invites you anywhere. This is the rudest behavior I've heard in a long time. So is the BF. WTF. I wouldn't even had paid the tip. Did your BF actually end up paying for you like he said he would, or did you ultimately pay for yourself? Yes, my boyfriend did pay for me, but I paid the tip on my meal. It was $2. His friend paid their tip. I shouldn't have paid the tip honestly, but I was just upset and didn't care about anything in that moment, just wanted to leave. Oh, that's such bullshit. If he's treating your boyfriend and he invites you too, he should pay for you as well. If he wanted to save money, the brothers could have just gone out alone. What a cheap moronic asshole. And the jokes feel more like bullying. Instead he singled you out and made you feel like you were less than, and your boyfriend sucks hard for not taking your side. If that's how his friend was going to act, your boyfriend should have just paid for you. I'd let your boyfriend know that family would have stuck up for you and that he shouldn't defend something that was blatantly rude. Did your boyfriend pay for your meal? Why would you pay the tip? It wasn't your responsibility. I would excuse myself to the bathroom and take an Uber home, but I'm petty like that. That doesn't make you look petty, just makes you look like a bum. Get away from those immature cheap asses. Unacceptable behavior from both of them. I don't understand how some people could be in a relationship. Your boyfriend's friend could choose to pay for whoever he wants. He is not at fault. He is a jerk for joking about it though. Your boyfriend on the other hand is an asshole for not standing up to him. Dude has no consideration of your feelings. For example, if someone done that to someone I was dating, I would tell them don't worry about it. I will pay for my own dinner and my girlfriend. If they want to pay, they can pay for the whole table. If not, then don't offer to pay, just me. Who the F asterisk 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 does that? Lol, and who the F asterisk 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 allows that to happen to their so to get embarrassed? Yes. Thank you. BF is even bigger up here. You are not family yet. Just do what? I'd rather be single than deal with people like that. What did your BF's best friend's girlfriend say to all of this? I'd be super embarrassed, so I don't blame you at all. Why invite you if he wasn't going to also pay for you? Who does that? I honestly probably wouldn't continue to date someone who is fine with his friend having such bad manners as to repeatedly bring it up at dinner like that. But my biggest thing I look for in a partner is generosity, because that's a big deal to me. I'm the type of person who sneakily pays the entire tab when out with friends or family, depends what your values are, but this one seems pretty to me. It's not because you're not family yet, it's because these people do not respect you. I would look at their messages and see how they talk about you to each other. That's how I discovered the most vile part of the personality of a person I once dated. I paid the tip as well. Please send this high roller an invoice for the tip, titled, "No offense, but you owe me $XX." Haha, I should, but I paid the tip for my own meal, which was $2, since he put a larger tip on their meals. In his attempt to diss you, the friend has only really humiliated your soon-to-be ex-boyfriend. I'm not saying you'll break up over this incident, but over time you'll realize that your boyfriend isn't someone you should be giving your time to. When we explained the check to the waitress, she was confused, and his friend said, "There's two couples here, she must be confused why you're paying for yourself, haha." It felt like a diss to me. If only you could go back in time and say, "I don't understand the confusion either. You are clearly here with two girlfriends and I'm alone." It sounds like you were set up to be humiliated. I would seriously consider whether your boyfriend is the kind of man you want to be with, seeing as how he allowed this to happen. I think you should break up with your BF. You deserve so much better than a guy who is okay with his best friend humiliating you like that and treating you so badly. And you also deserve a BF with friends who love you and accept you as their own friends, and that at least don't mistreat you, as the bare minimum. First, you must have felt so uncomfortable. That's awful. The friend is rude, but also your boyfriend should have stood up and insisted he pay for himself as well as your plate. This is just hell, singling you out. Singled out by everyone, really. I'd really evaluate this whole situation, especially your boyfriend, as he should have at least tried to lessen the tension from this awkward dinner. So how are you not family yet, but the friend's GF is? That is some bullshit. I would dump your BF on the spot for siding with his asshole friend. To the waitress when the check came, "Yeah, you see, X invited my boyfriend and I out due to making a big sale. So we were under the impression he was treating us both, but he's repeatedly and pointedly said he won't pay for my dinner specifically, which is fine. I guess his sale wasn't as big as he thought, and if that's how he sees things, I can only imagine the disappointment that his girlfriend experienced when he dropped his boxes the first time and showed his big sale to her. This is the energy he deserved. My condolences. I could be wrong, but something tells me your boyfriend has no intention of ever making you family, and that you're probably better off for it. The way he allowed his friend to disrespect you like that isn't cute. To put it in perspective, I was once in your place in a similar situation with my friend's present, but it was birthday and my now ex-boyfriend announced to my friends at dinner that he wasn't paying for me. I sat there like a wet sack. I was so sad and embarrassed. It's been 4 years and my friends still talk about how rude it was of my ex to do that. Your boyfriend and his buddy did you wrong. I would dump him. Wow, that was very rude, and the fact he kept making sure you knew he wasn't paying for you was even worse. Seems like he fed off being a massive douchebag. You shouldn't have covered the tip at all. Your BF's response is a big red flag, but if he's friends with someone like that, I'm not surprised. Both of them are assholes. You deserve better. His friend is a real dick, but so is your boyfriend. That's the truth. His friend aside, you can't control how people act to a certain extent. Your boyfriend should have intervened. He's disrespectful right to your face in front of him. It's not about paying for a meal, it's about how much of a dick you can be about it.